off net? Up off net. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the adult. Alright, man, look. Let's see. Who's in here? Who's gonna be in here? Who's the first one to show up? I'm waiting. Tick, 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 tick. Yeah, ShowBizz the frog over there. There you are, T. There you are, kid. Oops. Alright, man, look. Let's get to the live stream. Big, what's going on with you? Let's go. Luis Martinez, what's going on with you? Black, two sugars. Let's get some ShowBizz to coffee. John J. Doe, what's going on? Luis, what's going on with you? Adam, howdy, how you doing? HB, what up with you? Man on fire, a member. Boogie. What's going on, man? God first. So from Toronto, what it do? What's going on, Frosty? Buck 39. Didn't know we were live. Yeah. I was sitting back. I just didn't feel like, recording a video and editing, and I know I don't go live enough, okay? What you hear is the new ShowBizz the Frog. I got a new ShowBizz the Frog out there, so he's going to be talking. He's in my koi fish pond. You kind of hear the water kind of dripping in the back. So if you hear like some water running, that's from the fountain, from the pond. I'm never ducking. What's going on with you? Yeah, ShowBizz the Frog is back. Let me tell you what made me go live. I've been hearing, okay, on occasions, and you guys know that I did the video yesterday. People saying that Tyson Gypsy King Fury is ducking Dillian White. And it just made me think about ducking, okay? And I grabbed this book, and I was going to start reading it. This is Smoking Joe Frazier's book. I got it last summer, I think. And I was ready to start reading it now. I got a lot of books, okay? So I jump from one book to the next, or sometimes I finish a book, but I finally got to this, all right? And I was going to start reading it. And then I realized that yesterday marked the 47th anniversary of when Big George Foreman took on Smoking Joe Frazier the second time. And it made me think about Smoking Joe Frazier and the first time he fought Big George Foreman. Okay, happy 69th to Roberto. Happy 69th, Iceman. And it made me think about Smoking Joe Frazier when he took on George Foreman the first time. Think about this. Smoking Joe Frazier was the heavyweight champion of the world. Salute to Willie Williams. What's going on, Rob Wook Davis? Smoking Joe Frazier was the heavyweight champion of the world. He really solidified that by beating the returning ex-champion Muhammad Ali. Smoking Joe Frazier beat him, but Smoking Joe Frazier, he had some guys under his belt. He beat some guys. He had a very good resume by that time, and he decided to take on Big George Foreman. Big George Foreman, Olympic gold medalist. So was Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier won the heavyweight gold medalist in the Olympics in 1964, where Big George Foreman, he won the gold in 1968. And Big George Foreman is knocking out everybody. Nobody survived in 2-3 rounds. And Joe Frazier, after having the fight of the century against Muhammad Ali, the greatest, he went on to take on George Foreman. The up-and-coming George Foreman, gold medalist, a monster, knocking everybody out, young bred. He took him on. That is the polar opposite of ducking. Of course, Big George Foreman went on to dribble Joe Frazier off the canvas. But I'm just saying, that's the opposite of ducking. And I know many people today will probably look at that fight. He was crazy for taking on George. Absolutely, Iceman. Many people will look at that fight. Now, listen to this, Iceman. There'll be many people today that would look at Joe Frazier taking on Big George Foreman and say, well, he was green. So he is cherry-picking George Foreman because he was green. Joe Frazier is my favorite all-time heavyweight. So you're gonna love this. You're gonna love us talking about this. George Foreman he was 37-0. He was 37-0. Joe Frazier, Smoking Joe Frazier, was 29-0. But Smoking Joe Frazier's 29-0 made him a more experienced fighter. Hugo, what's going on? Made him a more experienced fighter than Big George Foreman with 37-0 record. Why? Big George Foreman, who did he fight by then? He took on George Chuvalo. That's a good victory. Chuck Wepner. He had Chuck Wepner on. And other than that, he didn't really have any names on his resume. Okay? Because of who he fought. There you go, T. Smoking Joe Frazier, who did he fight? He fought George Chuvalo himself. He fought Oscar Bonavena twice. He fought Jerry Quarry by then. He fought the greatest Muhammad Ali by then. Who else did he fight? He fought Bob Foster by then. I think he fought Jimmy Young by then. Did I say no quit, no quarry? Jerry Quarry, he fought him by then. Who else did he fight? Buster Mathis by then. Smoking Joe Frazier, he fought and he beat some guy. Wait, did he fight Ron Lyle? Did he fight Ron Lyle? No, maybe not. Maybe not. But he fought and he beat some guys. By the time he got to George Foreman. So he was more experienced. Bonavena, right. He beat Oscar Bonavena twice by then. There was another guy that I think he may have fought, though. Good fighter. Let me think of some guys. Anyway, Smoking Joe Frazier had a stellar resume by the time he got to George Foreman. George Foreman dribbled him off the canvas. Okay. So Smoking Joe Frazier is the opposite of ducking. All right. And it just made me think, if that's the standard, this guy, Smoking Joe Frazier, who would be the standard when it comes to ducking? If he's the standard as non-ducking, he's not a ducker. Let's define ducking. What's the definition of ducking? And I want you guys to kind of carry this. What's the definition of ducking? Wilder was a duck. Fury and Joshua are not ducks. Well, you look at Joshua's resume, it's very hard to say that he's a duck. Jim Jeffries. What about him? Riddick Bowe. Okay, other than names, can you define a duck? Bowe had his reason, but he was also a duck. He ducked Lennox Lewis. Okay. Keith Thurman is the definition. Well, he fought Porter. He fought Danny Garcia. What's a duck? Do people really think Fury will fight Klitschko, Wilder, AJ, and be scared of White? Okay, so T, you're making a valid point. Frazier, not the standard. He's an exception. I feel you. I love that comment, by the way. T was making a good point. Fear. Not exactly fear of another man, but fear of something. Does fear make you a duck? Ducking is when a person finds excuses to avoid another person by any means necessary. Okay, so you make a pull up Malcolm X into it. You make a valid point. I think we tried to define ducking before. And that's when a fighter avoids another fighter for no reasonable reason. Right? When you try to avoid another fighter for no... Okay, so you're not avoiding a fighter for a greater purpose. There's no reasonable reason. You know what I mean? So let's name a few guys. Lomachenko ducked Devin Haney. You're allowed to be scared but still take on a challenge. Absolutely. That's an excellent comment. I'm not sure if I ever fought anyone. I can't say it's fear, but it was definitely anxiety. Gentleman's game. So Lomachenko ducked Devin Haney. How was that? So, okay. So fighting Teofimo Lopez, that isn't fighting Teofimo Lopez to become undisputed. That isn't a greater reason to fight Devin Haney. That goes quack, quack. We're saying you didn't fight a guy for a greater reason. Hugo, right, you're right. Loma did not duck Haney. Lopez came first. Exactly. Okay? So it's just like Tyson Fury wanted Anthony Joshua instead of Dillian Whyte. That's not really a duck because of the greater reason. He wants Anthony Joshua to become the undisputed lineal heavyweight champion. So I don't see that as a duck. Fear of losing is a duck, if all else makes sense. I think we have something to do with that. I think we have something to do with that. When we don't give fighters a second chance after taking a loss. We always think about how Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder is being treated right now. Think about the way Anthony A.J. Joshua was treated after he lost to Andy Ruiz. You can't blame these fighters for not wanting to lose. Look at how us boxing fans who say that we cherish and love the sport, look at how we treat our warriors after taking a loss. I wouldn't blame a boxer for saying, I can't lose. I can't. If I lose, look how I'm treated. Aren't we all thankful for ShowBizz? Oh, thank you so much. The Mayweather effect, bro. That's right, T. Fury was shunned when he won. It's a good point. A loss means nothing, really. This is the Mayweather effect. Excellent point. Floyd ducked a prime Pac-Man. Did Pac-Man duck Floyd? I think that will always be the debate, who ducked who. All right, let's go to the super chat. Loma ducked that Pac-Man smoke. Alton, was that fight on the table, and at what weight class was it at? Eminem, at the end of the day, it's two athletes competing. A loss means less than we think. I know, and I've been working very hard to change the way of thinking because I value the sport. If we keep doing that, okay, and we keep saying that being undefeated is everything, we're not going to get the fights we want. We're going to say, if you lose, you're a bum. Why are you not fighting everybody? You feel what I'm saying? You can't do that. Beautiful Gazebo, CEO ShowBizz. How are you, boss man? Great. I hope I'm doing great, Merle. Another member. Boy. You feel me, John Doe? Mayweather didn't duck. Freddie Roach admit Pac dropped the ball on the 2009. Right, and that's the answer. The answer is, you have other people that can validate why the fight didn't happen on Pac-Man being responsible. So we can't really do that. I think when you kind of pick which one or the other being responsible, it kind of goes into isms, fanboy isms, right? Who's the next fighter to lose their O? The next fighter to lose their O is the next fighter who is ambitious. Maybe Errol the True Spence. Right? Errol the True Spence seemed to be an old school fighter who wants to take them all on. Right? He may be the next one to lose his O. He's talking about taking on Danny Garcia right after the accident. He's going about his career like a fighter. If you go about your career like a fighter, you're definitely going to lose because you're not going to be at your best every fight. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take a loss. But the thing is, how do we respond? How do we respond as fans? Should we know that these warriors are human? And should we love the fight? Should we value the fight first and foremost, and then the victory? Just like Porter, I hate fanboys. Absolutely. Hate fanboys kind of ruin the sport a bit. I see some similarities with Terry Norris and Errol Spence for some reason. I see a lot of similarities, a ton of similarities. They box almost exactly the same, except for Terry Norris to me was faster with his combinations. But they box very similar. BK, shout out to you. Back in the day, you have to fight that person no matter what, how scared you are, but you got to fake it and keep it moving. Yeah, absolutely. These fighters, you had to fight the number one guy. You had to fight. He's ranked number one. You got to fight him. That's just it. Or else, or don't jump in the game. The Floyd Mayweather effect is definitely real. Wilder can beat Fury. To beat Fury, Wilder got to make it a dog fight. Yeah, I like that you say that. I like that you say that. I just don't know, man. I don't know if that's the way to beat him. I like that you say that though, but I don't know because a dog fight means fighting in close quarters. And it looks like Tyson Fury would get the best of him there. Tyson Fury would not swing wildly either. He will swing skillfully. He will move his head skillfully. And Deontay Wilder can't string together 3 or 4 punch combinations well. He has to, if he's going to make it a dog fight, he has to make it a dog fight with the purpose to open up Tyson Fury so he can just land one shot. Another grueling fight may just go in Tyson Fury's way. Farmer is not ducking me. He took every punch I threw. Funny. Yeah, it won't work with close quarters. But I don't think Wilder can dogfight. Right. That's the problem. He needs distance to get off. Absolutely. Benavidez tested yet. ShowBizz. Is Benavidez tested yet? Oh, no. A lot of these boys not tested yet. Jamal Charlo, I don't think he's been tested yet. Korobov, both of those boys, those twins, had a bad night that night. But Korobov was really giving them that smoke to the point where you can kind of give Korobov the nod. But there's a lot of guys that hasn't been tested really. Has Andre been tested? Charlo, Caleb Plant, has he been tested? David Benavidez, have they been tested? And that's the point. He beat Anthony, but was he tested? Biz, do you think Wilder will come back with better fundamentals? If so, it only going to last so long until the heat's turned on, and then he goes back to what he is, his muscle memory. Which goes to my point, okay? When I brought up George Foreman being 37-0, Smoking Joe Frazier being 29-0, and Smoking Joe Frazier was the more experienced fighter. Lubin. Oh, you talking about Jamel Charlo? I was talking about Jamal. I didn't mention Jamel because he was tested by Tony Harrison. Lubin was a good win. But he wasn't tested. Right. So Smoking Joe Frazier was the more experienced fighter with 29-0 than Big George Foreman at 37-0. And that is the big argument against Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. He, 40-something odd fights, but Anthony Joshua is more experienced than him. When people bring up Lomachenko, what, 15 fights, 16 fights, 15 fights? He's more experienced than Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. He's more experienced. It's kind of like 300. Wait, Ward out of retirement versus Canelo at 175. Well, now Ward, he hasn't been fighting. I would have to see him. That's a huge thing. If I were to put money, I have to gamble $5,000 on it. It's hard for me to put it on Ward. But who's more experienced, Lomachenko or Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder? Who's a more experienced fighter? Loma for sure. Loma, of course. Absolutely. It's of course. So why do people even bring up his resume? It's kind of like 300 when Leonidas was like, what do you say? What's your occupation or what's your profession? And the guy's like, I'm a potter. And you? Yeah, I'm a locksmith. And all that. And then he's like, Spartans, what's your profession? And he said, I brought more soldiers than you did. I've had more fights than you. Though I've had 14, 15 fights, I've had more fights than you at your 42 fights. Joe Frazier was more experienced than George Foreman. Both of them Olympic gold medalists. And George Foreman had more professional bouts. But Joe Frazier was more experienced all day long. Loma had over 100 amateur fights. Enoch, that's an understatement. Lomachenko had 397 amateur bouts. What's up, ShowBizz, the kid? What you give me that for?
Switch. Shine needs a charger.
She needs this charger?
Yeah.
No, tell her to charge with this.
Yeah, but we're leaving.
Y'all leaving? Well, I don't know what to tell her. I'll bring it over. All right. Mike Tyson ducked Big George. I don't know. That George Foreman said that he was afraid of Mike Tyson. You know, I don't know. It's convoluted. I don't know if he ducked him. I can't. Mike Tyson. I don't think he would have ducked anybody. Look at what Mike Tyson, who he was fighting and what he was doing. I don't think he would have ducked anybody. I just think if a fight didn't happen, it doesn't always mean it was a duck. The fight just didn't happen. Somebody did say something though. That kind of messed with me. Hold on. Somebody said something. I read it for a quick second. Could Lomachenko have decided to fight Devin Haney and ignore the franchise title though? One, Bob Arum, they suggested that Bob Arum wanted Lomachenko to have the designation of the franchise title. I can see the benefits of that. I don't think Devin Haney was bigger than a franchise title. Who is Devin Haney? Devin Haney can fight. Was a great prospect. Now I see him as more than a prospect now that he's a WBC champion. But how is Devin Haney bigger than a franchise title? That's my question. Hey, forget all the things that comes with having a franchise title. You can move up, down weight classes and fight for the belt all the time. All because of the great and amazing Devin Haney? Who has he fought? Why would I give that all up for Devin Haney? Look, Teofimo Lopez is going to fight for the IBF title. Teofimo Lopez been calling me out way before Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez is undefeated too. Teofimo Lopez is the truth. If Teofimo, he beat Nakatani, and if he beats Kome, then that's the man. That's the man I want to prove myself against. If I want to fight somebody, it's going to be Teofimo Lopez. Why throw that all away for Devin Haney? I love Devin Haney. I think he's going to be amazing. My whole thing is, who is Devin Haney? It's kind of like if Errol Spence was granted the franchise title. And he's talking about, man, so I can move up to 154 and, take on the champion there, take on Jamel Charlo. I can move up to 160, take on But if he takes the franchise title, he doesn't get a chance to fight Virgil Ortiz. Who is Virgil Ortiz right now? Why throw your whole career focusing on Virgil Ortiz? It's too green. If I was Errol Spence, I'd take the franchise title, move up to 154, move up to one. Lomachenko did the right thing. It's not a duck at all. It's ridiculous. Devin Haney, people didn't even know Devin Haney. I went on live so many times. I would bring up Devin Haney. People had no idea who Devin Haney was. They only knew who Lomachenko was. And since Devin Haney became the mandatory for the WBC, that's all they knew. They never even watched the kid fight. See, fans are fickle. Then Lomachenko took the franchise title, and everybody jumped on that. They never even watched Devin Haney. Devin Haney may have had a handful of fights on national television. Devin Haney may have had a handful of fights on national television. We just call it a duck to start trouble. Yep, absolutely. Tank didn't duck Lomachenko either. Tank moved up to 135. I'm not sure how you duck. So this is the thing. When Tank was staying at 130, he was ducking Lomachenko. He moved up to 135. They said that he ducked my boy. God dog it. What's his name? My boy with the eyes, bro. What's his name again? Starts with a T. What's his name? What's his name? Tevin Farmer. Right, Tevin Farmer. So when he moved up to 135, he ducked Tevin Farmer. He stayed there. He's ducking Lomachenko. Stop! What we have to do now is define a duck. We have to define a duck in this community, at least with our community. And let's be fair. Mikey ducked Lomachenko by taking on Errol the True Spence. Maybe, look, hold on, dog. Maybe it's a promoter thing. Biz, as franchise champ, you can move up and wait and fight the champ, but you have no mandatories. Right, Eminem? Right. The franchise title, this is what the franchise title allows. Let me tell you, if you guys want to understand the franchise title, Salido beat Loma. Enough said. No, it's not enough said. Only somebody ignorant to the sport would say that's enough said. That's not enough said, okay? Salido missed the weigh-in, so he came in heavy, and he fought Lomachenko. He hit him low all day long when he fought Lomachenko. So he was doing dirty tactics in the ring, and he came in overweight, okay? I mean, and it was a good, dirty fight, and he won. But that statement right there are the ignorant statements that ruin boxing. Lomachenko got a loss. What does that mean? He got a loss. He got a loss. He got a loss. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? That's exactly why people are afraid to take on fights. Because fans like this guy is going to jump down your throat if you take a loss. No one wants that. Lomachenko can't live down the fact that he fought Salido, learned, and got better. Nobody does that. Nobody thinks that way. If you take a loss, enough said. That's him, ruining the sport. But why is he so hyped up? Why is he so hyped? I don't think, if you have to ask that question, why boxing fans are excited about Lomachenko, then you need to watch more boxing. And not just Lomachenko, you need to watch more boxing. The reason why people are excited about Lomachenko is the same reason why people were excited about Devin Haney. The same reason why people are excited about Shakur Stevenson. The same reason why people are excited about Virgil Ortiz, are excited about Boots. The same reason why people are hyped up about Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Because we know good boxers when we see them. Yeah, here you go. Stupid question. We know good boxers when we see them. A boxing fan, okay, what that question wouldn't even come up to the minds of any boxing fan because they know a great fighter when they see him. Real talk. Body shots weren't points in amateurs, but pro boxing, yeah, Loma learned. Exactly. Loma, I love that fight against Salido because Salido welcomed him to the pros, baby. Salido welcomed him to the pros. See, Lomachenko had almost 400 amateur fights with 2 Olympic gold medals. And this guy want to know why he was hyped coming in. Let me tell you why he was hyped. He was hyped up coming in. When Lomachenko was done with the amateurs, everybody was salivating at the mouth to see this guy because he is the greatest amateur fighter of all time. 2 gold medals. He fought close to 400 amateur bouts. He only had 1 loss as an amateur, and that was avenged. So when he came in, everybody was excited. His second fight, he beat Gary Russell. So it was like, yo, this guy is the truth. This guy is the truth. He beat Gary Russell. Gary Russell only has 1 loss. So while everybody is saying Lomachenko, Salido, why is nobody saying Gary Russell, Lomachenko? Gary Russell only has 1 loss. That's against Lomachenko. So it was his 3rd fight. There you go. But when he fought Salido, it was welcome to the pros. Because Salido, he came in overweight. He said, forget the weigh-in. That's something that he's not really used to. And then Salido was punching all dirty punches, a shoe shine in his coin purse. Pop, 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 pop. He learned. That's good. That's what you do. He learned, and since then, he hasn't really been touched. He had those struggling fights against, to me, he struggled against Linares. Fantastic fight. I love that fight. Linares and Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell, gold medalist himself. I love that he's struggling. I want Lomachenko fighting those big boys at 135. I do. But this man brings up one loss. He is exactly what's wrong with the sport. Fans like him is exactly what's wrong with the sport. Exactly what's wrong with the sport. That's the thing that put UFC, why people like is loving. Yeah, Linares was a beautiful fight, and I like Linares. I think he should be fighting Haney or a Ryan Garcia or something. I love Linares. But this is exactly why the UFC is kind of ahead of boxing a bit. Okay? Because the UFC, you can have Cormier lose against Miocic, and he's still great. And they have a third fight coming up, what, August or something like that? And everybody's excited about it. They're not saying, hey, remember he lost to Bones Jones? You lose if you're a warrior. That's the problem with boxing. Ryan and Oscar going at it. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad. I'm not about counting a man's wallet or counting his pockets, I mean. But, you know, Ryan Garcia feels like he's worth more money, and it happens. Masvidal got 14 losses. That's why I love him. You see that? Because with those 14 losses, he got busy. I love Cowboy Cerrone. I love Cowboy Cerrone. How many losses he got? I love that boy. There's a lot of guys out there. That's my guy. I mean, just, you know, a ton of losses. My guy, Nate Diaz. I love him to death. He's one of my favorite fighters, period. Losses. Yeah, that 200K is kind of, because if you offer me 200K, I still got to pay you. You know what I mean? Half of it is going out the gate. So now he's just working with 100K. The only reason I know this is because Adrian Clark, boxing manager for years, he broke it down for me. Me and Adrian Clark, we had, you know, conversation here and there, and he just broke it down for me, the numbers, okay? He was just like, out the gate, half is gone. Then you got to pay the sanction fees. You got to pay the promoters. You got to pay the network. You got to pay. Ryan Garcia can walk out of there with $50,000. Taxes. With taxes, Ryan Garcia can walk out of there with about 50 grand. Not to be counting his pockets, but he can walk out there with like 50 grand. So that's why. Forget $200,000. Forget. You guys know the difference between finance and accounting? You guys know the difference between finance and accounting? 3 words. It's a 3-word difference. When people are like, what's the difference between finance and accounting? It's a 3-word difference. The difference is cash is king. When it comes to finance, cash is king. Okay? So that's why I love finance over accounting. Forget liabilities, assets. This is how much you're worth. No, how much do I have to spend, man? How much do I got? ShowBizz, you're worth this much. You got this sports car. You got this truck in this house. You got this right here. You're worth this much. No, forget that, because I want to know, can I buy these shoes tomorrow? Can I get something to eat? Can I just go and cash my... It's how much cash you got. So when it comes to Ryan Garcia, forget the 200K. Forget that. How much is he going to have to take home to spend for his daughter and to, you know what I'm saying, to eat and to, you know, pay the mortgage and how many cars he got or whatever? How much bread is he going to have in his hand? It may be like 50K, bro. Forget the 200K. It may be like 50K. Boxing 101 here, OG Biz fan. Thank you so much. Sam Langford has like 40 losses and he's considered a GOAT. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sam Langford, think about who he was fighting and what was going on. My God. My God. That guy was way too small doing what he was doing. That's like Bob Fitzsimmons, man. What was Bob Fitzsimmons doing becoming heavyweight champion? He should have never became heavyweight champion. That dude was way too small. That dude got busy on him, man. Happy born day to Roberto Duran. I didn't know that. Just Blaze? Roberto Duran has like 16 losses. That's right. That's right. The GOAT. Yeah. Yeah, see how my man just trolling and he's just weird and shit. Big up yourself, ShowBizz. Thank you so much. Ryan will eventually leave Oscar. That's a shame. I hear that Virgil Ortiz is taking his place, though. Anybody hear that? That Virgil Ortiz is taking that spot? They supposed to have fought 4th of July? When did they when was Ryan supposed to fight? I think Virgil Ortiz is taking that spot. And Ms. Biz over here. And yeah, at the end of July instead. Okay. Well, so is Virgil Ortiz still fighting Samuel Vargas? Anyone know? You heard that too? Who is she talking to, bro? I gotta get the heat. I think so. Okay. Is it true DAZN paying stock? I don't know their business, man. I don't know their financial business. I don't know. You do some boxing tier lists. I think I need to understand what you mean. Virgil Sr. said an opponent would be announced soon. Oh, okay. Thanks, T. Thoughts on Lopez saying that he is going to fight similar to Salido. That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. To fight similar to, so what are you going to fight? Dirty with your head down? That's a bad idea. Lomachenko has beat that already. If I was Teofimo Lopez, I'll fight in a very athletic way. Teofimo Lopez is a counterpuncher on the low. People see him as a volume puncher, and I don't know why. He's a counterpuncher. Teofimo Lopez is a very mature, natural fighter. Think about Teofimo Lopez. He's only 22 years old. The guy fights like he's been around for ages. Think about his punch selection and his timing. Teofimo Lopez is, that dude's fantastic. I don't think he should take away from what he is to fight like Salido. I don't think he should fight worse. Fighting like Salido is fighting worse. I wouldn't do that. Teofimo beat Ugas in sparring. See? Yordanis Ugas. See what I'm saying? Wilder ducked AJ. That's the thing. Did Wilder duck AJ? Yeah, I got Teofimo Lopez over McGregor. I think he beat McGregor. Lopez is Danny Garcia like. Yeah, that was great. That was a great comparison. Yeah, they don't throw the same type of punch, but I know what you're saying. When you say timing and kind of like intercepting punches, like Bruce Lee, when like the timing to where you intercept the punch, Danny Garcia is great because he throws within your combination, but it's perfect timing. Did Wilder duck AJ though? Yeah. That's the question. All right. I think, I'm somebody who's been 50-50 on this. Okay. Did Wilder Jeet Kune Do? Yep. Did the way of the intercepting fist, right? Something like that. Did Wilder duck AJ? All right, let me hear from the community. We got new members in our community, so Wilder doesn't have the duck in his game. BK say he can't duck. Did he duck AJ? Wilder just wanted a 50-50 split. Yeah, well, that I like the sound of that because Wilder, when he was offered that money for the DAZN deal, he did ask how much is AJ getting paid. So he was very concerned about having a 50-50 split. He was concerned on the principalities in this. Not only did he duck AJ, but every other champion. He didn't duck the lineal champion, Tyson Fury. I don't think Wilder intentionally ducked, just priced himself out. Yes, he ducked. Wilder versus AJ fight was about location. The second time? Nah. Because I thought AJ was willing to fight in the garden, right? Or am I capping? I could be capping. Used the money as an excuse. It was a battle of egos. I like that. That may be the answer. If there is an answer, it was the battle of egos. That may be the answer. That may be the answer. I don't think Wilder ducked AJ is about the money and other reasons. I like the ego answer. Do I watch tie-in? No, I don't. Remember, it's a business. Yeah, but look what happened. He got knocked out. He got TKO'd by Tyson Fury. Now what? What did he gamble on? I think Deontay Wilder would have had a better chance against AJ than Tyson Fury. I still don't know who wins that fight, AJ or Deontay Wilder. He took on Tyson Fury, though. 2 months, with a 2.5 month turnaround after taking on Luis Ortiz. That wasn't good business. That wasn't good business. AJ wants to fight Wilder, Hearn said. Hearn said that AJ wants to fight for undisputed, I thought. Tyson Fury was Wilder's worst decision. Fury was used by Wilder to get 50-50. Wilder wanted more than he was worth. Well, now we know, he may not have been. I'm not sure. Well, hold on. Wilder called out AJ many times. I think Wilder has issues with Hearn. Yeah. I agree. That's the ego issue. That's the ego issue. When Canelo fought Cotto, Miguel went toe-to-toe with him, and he was older and out of his prime. So do you think a prime Cotto could beat Canelo? No. I don't think a prime Cotto can beat a prime Canelo. I don't think that Canelo that fought Cotto was where he's at now. I don't think a prime Cotto beats a prime Canelo. I don't think so. Canelo's a big kid. On top of skillful. He's just big and skillful. Wilder's team and Wilder believe Fury has, yeah. Canelo lost to Lara. No, I rescored that fight, Canelo and Lara. It's on my channel, and forever I said that Lara should have gotten a nod, and I've changed my mind. I think Canelo Alvarez, after rescoring it, Canelo Alvarez beat him, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. Lopez is super confident that he KOs Loma under 6 rounds. Yeah, and Loma is super confident that Teofimo Lopez is going to be an easy fight. He said that. He said Teofimo Lopez is going to be easy. So what does that mean? I think they both should be extremely confident. Saying that means very little to me. I think they both should be confident. If you would have told me Teofimo Lopez said that he's not confident, that means something to me. But to say he's confident, that's what I expect. Who do you think is the most powerful promoter in boxing? Powerful. Who do I think? I don't care. Maybe Bob Arum. Hey. Joshua said he was going to retire if he lost to Ruiz. What boxer actually retires when they say they will? And then he beat Ruiz the second time. I mean, Jay-Z said that he was going to retire after the Black Album. You know what I mean? Haney versus Lopez, who wins? Right now, probably Teofimo Lopez. Ultimately, Devin Haney. You give Devin Haney more experience. Devin Haney. It's the same way I feel about Boots and Virgil Ortiz. Right now, if they fought right now, I got Virgil Ortiz beating Boots. Overall, who has the biggest upside is Boots. Boots has the biggest upside. Al Heyman is powerful. We don't see his face, but we know his name. Bruh, that means he's powerful? I think they're all powerful, bro. They're all powerful. It's just Heyman chooses to do it a different way where you don't see his face. I don't get it, bro. Hold on. I think they're all powerful. They're all powerful. Haney didn't look good his last fight, right? Yeah, he didn't look good. He didn't look good. But maybe, he messed up his shoulder during the fight, and that's when we saw, you growing an afro like Bruce Leroy. Yeah, dawg, I'm growing everything. I'm growing everything. So what happened was somebody in my comments said, ShowBizz the adult, cut your hair. And now I'm like, I ain't cutting nothing. That's how my attitude is. Now, dude, if you tell me, ShowBizz, you better go right, I'm going left. you better look. People told me when I first started this channel, boxing can't be funny. You can't. I started off when I did the Steve Willis, and I was being funny and just doing what I do, bringing my natural style. People are like, stop being goofy with boxing, and I grew very fast. Dude, don't. The fro makes biz. Dude, don't tell me what to do or what I can't do. I don't think any man should be that way. I probably won't grow dreads either, dude. I just have a big, wild. I'm going to look like a wild man. I'm going to look like how God intended me to look. I'll probably never cut my hair again. You feel what I'm saying? Wilder agreed to AJ terms, 15 million flat fee. Yeah, I remember that in a fight in the UK. Then AJ decided to fight Povetkin. I remember that. How was Wilder a duck? That's why Isaac Jones. That's why I sit here and I'm like, man, bro, I've always been 50-50 on it. Because I genuinely feel that if there was a duck the first time, AJ did the ducking. If I genuinely feel, if there was a duck, the first time was a bit foggy. It was foggier than here's 120 million for a 3-fight deal on the zone. No. You get to fight AJ twice. No. That was like, okay. The first time though, it was Al Heyman wrote a check for 50 million and stuff like that, and they never saw it and all these little things. But if there was a duck the first time, I think the ducking happened on AJ's side the first time. If there was a duck, the second time, Deontay Wilder ducked AJ. And there goes the ego. There goes the ego, right? Deontay Wilder thought he was worth 50-50 with AJ. I don't agree. I don't think Wilder should have gotten 50-50 the first time. I don't agree. But then Wilder agreed to like 15 million and to fight over there in the UK. He was like, fine. And then the fight didn't happen. So I kind of feel like after Deontay Wilder started getting his reign as the champ and they start wanting that fight more, I think Deontay Wilder had that ego issue. Dude, my dog is about to kill a bird, and it's so crazy right now. My dog is so serious about this bird. So my dog kills birds and like drop them off at the step. Like, you see what I did? I have a hunting dog. It's like, no, no, dude, leave the dogs alone. ShowBizz, don't cut your hair. Now I gotta cut it. I feel you saying. AJ had Wembley booked, and Wilder dragged his heels. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm foggy on the first one. What I know to happen on the first time was everything was laid out. Deontay Wilder agreed to the 15 million, and Deontay Wilder was willing to go to the UK. But then something happened. Show us. Nah, killer dog. But something happened when I think they wanted like a 90-10 split, or whatever split they wanted Deontay Wilder to have was less than Joseph Parker's money, and I thought that was unfair. So they were kind of playing Deontay Wilder the first time. They were playing him the first time. So I can see where the egos kind of started. Who would you want Pacquiao to fight next? Who would I want him to fight next? Probably Terrence Crawford, honestly. I think Manny Pacquiao's time has come. I think it's done. But I think if Manny Pacquiao were to beat Terrence Crawford, I'll lose my mind. I'll be like, this guy is ridiculous. I mean, he's definitely GOAT status. He's GOAT status now. I'm just saying but if Terrence Crawford were to win and has 2 belts, and Errol Spence got 2 belts, see, because I need Terrence Crawford to get the notoriety. I don't want no more excuses where Terrence Crawford, he isn't known like Errol the True Spence is. Everyone knows Errol the True Spence. They know him. And I want Terrence Crawford, Errol the True Spence to happen. So I'd rather Manny Pacquiao take on Terrence Crawford to make that the biggest fight it can possibly be. Seriously. Do you think Wilder crash the Fury versus AJ party? Why would he? Why would he? Because you're right, 100. Yeah, because why would Deontay Wilder crash the AJ Fury party? Fury would be fighting Deontay Wilder at the end of the year. He'll be fighting Deontay Wilder first. If it gets to a party with AJ and Fury, Deontay Wilder took another ass whooping. He ain't showing his face. He shouldn't. I think if he takes another ass whooping from Tyson Fury, he should go ahead and start looking at Andy Ruiz and look at the rest of the guys and get that together. Honestly. I think he's asking if he beats Fury. Oh, if he beats Fury, then there's no Fury AJ party, is it? If he beats Fury, there's no AJ Fury party. I would like there to be, but there wouldn't be. There's nothing to crash. If Eddie Hearn said himself, if Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder beats Fury, they're going for the undisputed title. They're going to be undisputed. So AJ would turn his focus from Fury to Deontay Wilder. I think Wilder retires if he loses. I hope not. I hope not. He got a lot of fight in him. He hasn't had that many wars. I think Pac-Man beating Crawford is better than Spence. Crawford is a harder fight. Style-wise, I don't know that. I don't know that. Here, is Porter a harder fight for Pacquiao than Crawford? Porter can probably be a harder fight for Pacquiao than Crawford. Hey, get away from there. Casemiro versus Inoue. Yeah, I know. What do you want me to say? I know. I'm only leaning towards Inoue because Nonito Donaire fight, stuff like that, bro. But Casemiro, dog, that guy is so good. His left hook is so dangerous. He's on the up too. He's coming up with it. Like, that guy is not losing, bro. Not anymore. So that's a tough fight, man. Biz non-dual rematch right clause. That's right. There was no rematch clause if Deontay Wilder lose. That's right. And less money than Parker was the problem the first round. Right. But then Deontay, you're right. That's exactly what happened. But then Deontay Wilder agreed to like $15 million and to go over there. So yeah, I mean, either way, AJ made it tough for Deontay. Like a Tua hook. Yeah, that hook is magnificent. Look how many people in here. 240 people. That's amazing. For just a random, that's beautiful. Wilder is too much of a warrior to duck intentionally. The ego thing seems correct. Yeah, Eminem, I feel that way. I don't think Wilder's afraid of AJ. I don't. That dude ain't. That dude, I don't think I honestly don't. I know a lot of people are down on Wilder and they say slick stuff about Wilder and they hate on Wilder. I don't think Wilder's afraid of anything, man. Honestly, I really don't. I mean, you got to understand, when people saw Deontay Wilder going after Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, as some kind of cherry pick, I didn't. When he was talking about fighting the Gypsy King, and the Gypsy King had 2 fights, and Deontay, and he was looking good against those guys, and he was getting back in shape and he wanted Tyson Fury. I was like, holy shit! Like, Deontay Wilder got so much respect from me when he said that. When he did that, I know Joe Kawasaki, Joe Kawasaki, Joe Kawasaki. Good job. Actually, I mean, why want that kind of attention? High user, why? I mean, it's nothing. I'm not even hiding you. I'm not blocking you because you are Joe Kawasaki. It's just that you're messing up the stream. But anyway, he got so much respect from me when he wanted Tyson Fury and he got that fight. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, yo. Virgil Ortiz will be pound for pound in 5 years. Yeah, pound for pound, top 10, probably in 5 years. That's yeah, that makes sense. John J. Doe, oh yeah, much love. ShowBizz, do you think a prime Mike Tyson from the mid to late 80s beats all the heavyweights of today's era? Yeah, I do. Easily. I don't see anybody giving him any issues. Who should Jamal Charlo fight next? I mean, look, Jamal Charlo's talking about going up to 168. He can fight anybody from, I don't know, Colin Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, David Benavidez. Fight one of them. Caleb Plant. Fight one of them. Fight one of them. Fight any of them. Danny Jacobs. There you go. Boo Boo Andre. There you go. You know, Andre's talking about moving up to 168. Fight one of them. Please. He shouldn't be fighting anybody that's not a dangerous name. That's that Floyd Mayweather effect. Think about how old the Charlos are now. Think about how old Andre is now. Think about how old he is. How old they are. And think about what Sugar Ray Leonard was doing at that age. Think about what Joe Frazier was doing at that age. This guy. What was Joe Frazier doing at that age? Canelo Alvarez, what he's doing at 29 years old is like a straight up rarity. What he's doing at 29 years old, nobody's doing. That's a shame. Because that was so normal back in the day. It was so normal. Best Life, what's going on with you? That's what I've been saying. They old and still haven't fought the big fights yet. Yeah. Terrence Crawford won it. Terrence Crawford didn't get a chance to fight Manny Pacquiao, has yet to fight Kell Brook, has yet to fight Sean Porter, has yet to fight Danny Garcia, has yet to fight Keith One Time Thurman, has yet to fight Yordanis Ugas, has yet to fight Errol the True Spence. How is it? How does that happen? How does that happen? How does a pound for pound 1 to 3 welterweight, top 3 welterweight, not get the fights with any of those guys and he's 33, 32 years old? How does that happen? How does that happen? By 33 back in the day, your career was about done. How many fights you've had, the wars you've had, back in the day. If this was back in the day, Terrence Bud Crawford would have fought Errol the True Spence 3 times already. If this was back in the day, that Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford fight would have been happening. If this was back in the day, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. If this was back in the day, they all would have had losses. All of them. Sugar Ray Leonard had a loss against the Ray. If this was back in the day, there would be no undefeated nothing. Terrence Crawford would have took an L by Sean Porter. Errol Spence would have took an L from Terrence Crawford. Man, all of them would have had losses, man. Keith One Time Thurman would have already been knocked out by Errol Spence. Kell Brook would have fought Manny Pacquiao. Like, if this was back in the day, Danny Garcia and Kell Brook would have already fought twice. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame, dog. Errol keeping his guys on an island, but they better find a boat. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if it's just Bob Arum. It's just the times, man. The Floyd Mayweather effect is real. It's real. And the sad thing, there's only one Floyd Mayweather. And when you look at Floyd Mayweather's resume, it's wonderful. Okay? So it's like he had a negative effect, though he did great things. He did great things, but had a negative effect. They're afraid to get a loss. but Ali went all in. Think of Ali. When people ask me, how can you be so sure that Muhammad Ali would have beaten Iron Mike Tyson? Okay, everybody, just listen to what I'm saying right here. When everyone says, when people ask me, how can you be so sure that Muhammad Ali would beat Iron Mike Tyson? I say, look at Muhammad Ali's resume, and he fought everything Iron Mike Tyson was. I say that every time. Name it. Name it. What, a power puncher? He fought Ernie Shavers. He fought George Foreman. He fought Sonny Liston. He fought Joe Frazier. What, a short, stocky guy? He fought Joe Frazier. What, a bully? He fought Foreman. He fought Sonny Liston. Two of the no one were more afraid of those two guys ever in boxing. He fought some with a peekaboo style. He fought Floyd Patterson, whooped his ass twice. Floyd Patterson was trained by Customato, the late and great Customato. Okay, the guy fought everything Iron Mike Tyson was, everything he was. He fought him in some shape or form. So when you think of Muhammad Ali and his career, what makes him the greatest? Come on, man. Yeah, it was more about balls back in the day. People take L's all the time. Absolutely. I think Tyson would get TKO'd. I think Tyson would quit on his stool. Tyson has never been knocked down and oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say Mike Tyson never been dropped and gotten up. He got dropped and he got up against Evander Holyfield. But Iron Mike Tyson has never been dropped and gotten up to win. Iron Mike Tyson never been dropped and gotten up to win. So there's some quit in Iron Mike Tyson. Now, Muhammad Ali, he's been dropped and gotten up to win. Right? So ShowBizz. I'm at the mall eating Chinese and enjoying this lovely stream. Thank you, brother. No, thank you. Losses aren't always a bad thing. It's only a good thing. Let me tell you something, dude. Let me tell you something. Losses is how you learn. I read a meme that said, either I win or I learn how to. That was the realest. Either I win or I learn how to. You can win. You can win after a loss. A loss can be your greatest victory. No one credited Showtime Sean Porter until we lost to Errol the True Spence. Let's keep it real. Before Errol the True Spence, he was given the nod against Yordanis Ugas. Everybody was down on Porter. Everybody was down on Showtime Sean Porter until that fantastic fight with Errol the True Spence, which he lost. But he won. He won. Everybody wanted to see Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter now more than ever. They didn't want to see Sean Porter versus Terrence Crawford when he was winning all the time. They didn't even want to see that. They didn't want to see it. I will always respect Porter. He ducks no one. Man, Porter is... you seen when Floyd said he was better than Ali just because Ali lost and only fought in one division? I lost it when he said that. Yeah, East Coast. That's so hard to hear from a fighter. You know, that's so hard to hear. You can't repeat it. It's hard to repeat. I know it burns your lips to repeat it. That's ridiculous. I think Ugas is better than Pacquiao. I don't. I think Pacquiao's better than Ugas, bro. I feel you though. I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're saying. Ali is greater than Floyd every day of the week. Ali's a greater fighter than Floyd Money Mayweather every day of the week. Ali was the greatest, not anymore. Bruh, if I can time you out, is there a timeout button? This guy said Ali was the greatest, not anymore. Is there a timeout button? Is there a timeout button? That was one of the most disrespectful things I've ever read in a showbiz the adult community comment section. Ever. Robinson was always the greatest. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, man. So I've been on for a little bit over an hour. The Fed said it. Yeah, man. Yeah. That makes sense. I'm going to start reading this book. Hey, you know what? Let me was timed out by BK. Thank you. 300 seconds. Beautiful, BK. Beautiful. Let me read you guys something. If I can read right now. I think I got a mumbled mouth right now. Thank you, BK. Let me read you something about Smoking Joe Frazier. Okay. It says this is chapter 1. All right. It says, far and wide across Beaufort County, the boy who would one day become heavyweight champion was celebrated for his uncommon strength. Groups of teenagers would stop by the commercial farm where he worked just to watch him load crates of vegetables into the rear of trucks. Chubby, yes, and yet endowed with broad shoulders and iron biceps, he prided himself on his physical prowess, which he used to protect less able boys from school bullies. Joe Frazier used to protect less able boys from school bullies. He was a young bull, right? A young boy. The guy was known all over Beaufort County for his strength. People used to come by the commercial farm just to see him toss crates of vegetables into the truck. The kid was a kid, but everybody came around like he was a circus freak. Joe Frazier. The guy explains why he clashed with Ali. At a Frazier summer reunion years later, his aging cousins remembered how he would show off by scooping up 2 of them under each arm and 3 more on his back. As they laughed and laughed, he would set his jaw and wobble his way, and that for 10 yards or so before setting them down in a squirming 300-pound pile. He used to carry his cousins, one under one arm, one under the other arm, 3 on his back. And he used to walk them for 10 yards and drop them. They were like 300 pounds altogether. Where we at? Whether this particular piece of lore has been colored by exaggeration is unclear. Yet there can be no arguing that by adolescence, the seed of who Joe Frazier will become had been planted. Joe Frazier, when you look at his fights with Muhammad Ali, you know, the Thriller Manila, you know, the fight of the century, all those things. When you look at his fight with Ali and you see his head looking like a smashed pumpkin. The late great Joe Frazier, not to joke on him, but his head was, Ali was letting his hands go. That dude's head was knotted up, but still, bam, boom, bam, boom, and dropped Ali. Look, it's because naturally he was a freak. He was a freak. He was a born freak. Okay, as far as physical strength, he was known all around the county as a boy. Everybody wanted to come around just to see how strong he was. The guy, that's different. Stamina, crazy stamina. You got to kill this man, okay? That's why when we talk about Joe Frazier versus Iron Mike Tyson, and we look at Iron Mike Tyson and we see him as a man-child, so was Smoking Joe Frazier. All right, y'all. Yeah, freak of nature, man. I'm about to go. I'm about to kiss the wife, see how she's doing, see if I can get something to eat. ShowBizz the adult. Thank you guys for coming out. I couldn't make a video today. Decided to go live, man. You guys were excellent. And don't forget, I am going live, doing my live stream commentary this weekend. I'm going to do the Belmont Stakes. Tears in with the law. We're going to bet on Tears the Law. If you haven't, go by busr.com/showbiz. Create your accounts. Make some bets because I will be staying on live from the Belmont Stakes at 5:30 Eastern all the way to 11 something at night, okay, or 12 at night, whatever it is. because I'm going to be doing the live stream commentary for the Curtis Blades fight, right? With Volkov, the UFC fight. So make sure you're here with us doing the live stream commentary Saturday. I'm out. Huh.